All right, we're gonna try to work this park. See how it goes. Got him. So you just heard me call, and conditions are kind of rough today, but you just heard me call N9ANA. All right, yeah, he's in Illinois at K0987. And like I said, it's a little noisy today. The band conditions are not great, and my keying wasn't fantastic, but honestly, neither was his. So what you heard was me send my call, and then Eric came back to me with my call, and then we went through the QSO just like you've heard in my previous videos. Like I said, it wasn't pretty, but we got the exchange done. So we can listen to this for a minute and kind of see what it sounds like, so you can kind of get a feel for what you're listening to. He's sending about 19, 20 words a minute, I'm going to guess. He's kind of down in the noise, and I've got some other noise going on from the house, but... So that's 599 or 5NN. Illinois. BK. So I sent it back to the other station. Woo, he's big. Thank you. You are 559. Texas. Nope, Tennessee, I'm sorry. And see, now we've almost lost Illinois. There's a lot of QSB today. It's very hard to hear him. That's typical. You get some weird conditions going on. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to hear the parks. But we'll listen for a minute. It's nice calling CQ. So he's calling CQ POTA. N9ANA. So we'll see if anybody calls him. Nope. So we're going to call CQ again. See, listen to that QSB. He's almost gone. So right now is when you want to throw your call out there. Nobody else was calling. Toss your call in. He'll answer you back. So now he's got a station. So that's 579. I apologize for the weird noise in the background. That's actually my washing machine. Now notice you can't hear the other end of the conversation. That's common also. So if you spin the dial in one of these parks and you don't hear anything, give it a sec. You might not hear the other side of the conversation. So wait a minute and see if you hear the activator. And it may take a minute. You may not be able to tell which side's the activator and which side's the hunter until you've listened to a QSO or two. If they're calling CQ, it's obvious. But if there's already a QSO going on, you might have to wait a minute to see which side you're hearing. And that's fairly common. So we'll see what happens when he comes back. That sounded like a park to park because I hear a whole bunch of numbers in there, but it's hard to tell because the conditions aren't great. Yep. All right, so let's spin the dial around and see if we can hear anybody else. I honestly don't know if we're going to be able to or not. Like I said, conditions are not fantastic today. Oh, actually, let me log him first too. I forgot to log him. That was about 120. See, now he's back pretty strong. And now he's gone again. That's pretty typical of today. And that's just kind of the way conditions are. That happens sometimes. So we'll spin the dial around a little bit. We'll see who else we can hear. Let's try Jim here, 66.3. Now he's not where he normally is. He's normally in Nebraska. Right now he's in Colorado, so I don't know what he's going to sound like. We'll see. He usually has a pretty good pileup going on. There he is. I recognize his fist. We'll try to work him. Again, Tennessee, and it almost sounds like there's two stations, one on top of the other here. There definitely are. WB0RLJ. Dit dit. No, he didn't hear me that time. So he's having a hard time hearing the other station. Got him. See, he's going away too. Like I said, conditions are not great today. And that sounded like an MM station, which means he's working DX right now, so that's why he couldn't hear him. It's hard to tell, but I think that's what that was. Like I said, conditions are not fantastic today. There he is. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother. I lost him at the end there. We'll give it a second, see what happens. $589. As typical with Jim, he's got a pileup. And you're going to get that, I don't know if you noticed, but people send long after everybody else is done. That gets frustrating. So while we're waiting in a lull here, when you're trying to get through to a park that's got a pileup going on, and this one's tough because he's kind of down on the noise because he's normally clear as a bell, but he's much further away than usual. You can wait until the pileup dies down. That can take a while depending on the operator and how many people are out there hunting. You can, if you're running enough power and you can step on top of people, I mean, you can, as soon as they send dit dit, you throw your call sign out there. Sometimes that works even if you're not running a ton of power. If you're the first thing they hear, they might pick up the K2 from my call sign before they hear anything else. I'm only running 20 watts and that works sometimes. You can also wait a little while. So if they got a big pileup going, don't be a tail ender where you wait till the very last minute and then when everybody else is done, count to 3 and then send your call sign. But you know, don't send it immediately. Give it a second or two before you throw it out there because that may be the last call sign they hear. Another thing you can do is don't send in such quick succession. Spread your call sign out a little bit so they may hear, for instance, the J out of my call sign, and they might pick that out and come back with just that J. So there are some different tricks to trying to get into a park with a bunch of people calling it. You know, if they got a pretty decent sized pileup going on, like Jim does right now, but it's very hard to hear him. So we'll try one more time here. Like I said, conditions are not fantastic today, but this is what it's really like. So there it is. See, he's way down on the noise now. All we're hearing the hunters. Yeah, I think we lost him. Let's try this other Colorado station on 57. No, he's coming back. We'll try him anyway. We'll spin the dial a little bit and see what happens. He's way down on the noise too. Let's see, anybody else on that we might be able to hear right now? How about Texas? Well, let's listen to this. So this is the hunter. That's the activator. You can barely hear him. Now this station's working real slow. Reverse Beacon Network says he's working about 13 words a minute. And if you're trying to hunt parks and you've never done this before, if you look for stations that are calling, I mean, this guy's running 13 words a minute. If you look for activators that are running slower, you may find it a little easier. Most of the time, these guys will slow down for you if you come at them at 12, 13, 14 words a minute. They'll try to slow down for you. They won't all, but a lot of them will. So like I said, conditions are not fantastic today. I'm not sure if we're going to find anybody else we can hear. We'll spin back to Jim and see what happens here real quick. So he's back on 66.3. So we'll listen and see what we can find here. I mean, there's a lot of QSB. He's in and out. I wish I had some really strong parks, but I don't today. Like I said, conditions really are not that fantastic. All right, well, maybe we'll come back in a little bit and see what happens. So I'll be back shortly. All right, so we've got another station here that we can hear pretty well. He's in Iowa. We'll try to work him. See, he's in and out still, but we'll try. You can just barely hear the hunter down there. Nope. Man, he's way down there. Is that me? I can't tell. I lost him now. Nope. It's like QSP is really bad. He's up and down. And you can't hear the other side. In fact, he's having a hard time hearing the other station. So it was a 4-4. Got him. He's a 5-3. I think he said it was a 5-7. Okay, so that was a pretty straightforward QSO, and that's how most of them are. Now that he came back up, you can hear him pretty well. And that's kind of what to expect. I mean, that he's sent in a fairly abridged version of that. He sent my RST and then sent it back to me. I sent my information, and he just said, you know, thanks New York, 7-3, and that was that. In fact, I'm not even sure if he sent 7-3 or not. Sometimes and when they get cruising, somebody's tuning up right on frequency, that drives me nuts. Sometimes when they really get cruising, they might only send an abbreviated version. Like I said in a previous video, you know, you might not hear the full QSO. But that's really what it sounds like. You know, you throw your call sign out there. When you hear them go back with your call sign, you know, just send it. They're going to send you, if they might send you part of your call sign, send your full call sign back. But if they come back with your full call sign like he did, they'll just come back with your RST. They'll send it back to you. You know, send them tell them, you know, good afternoon. You are whatever their RST is. In that case, he was a 5-3. I told him it was a 5-3 in New York. I sent it back to him. He said, okay, thank you. Have a good one. And that was pretty much that. That's kind of all there is to it, guys. So if you're looking at trying to get into hunting some of these parks, it's really that simple. And I've said it before, try to get used to what these things sound like as complete sounds, right? So if we listen to this for a second. Of course, now he's gone. There we go. So I did it right. That's question mark. Get used to hearing that as a question mark, not as dits and das, but as a question mark. Dotted it, dit, right? Okay, that's from. Let's see what he sends here. He's slowed down a little bit. I have the feeling the hunter's sending a little slower because this guy usually sends about 22 words a minute. So he slowed down a little bit. I think he said he was a 5-7 or a 5-8. But you don't need to be able to copy a whole lot. You need to be able to copy your call sign, your signal report. You know, they may send you your state. In this case, his state. In this case, the activator sending me his state. He said he was in Iowa. 7-3, dit dit. That's the end of the QSO. That's really all there is to it, guys. So if you're looking at jumping in and giving this a shot, don't be afraid. If you're worried about them coming at you too fast, somebody tuning up on frequency again. If you're afraid of them coming at you too fast, just send QRS, ask them to slow down. If they won't slow down, move on. There's nothing that says you have to work that park. But try to work ones that are a little faster than you're comfortable with, because the only way you're going to get better is to get out of your comfort zone. So with that being said, I think we'll button this one up. I hope you found it at least semi-valuable. This one was a little weird because, like I said, conditions today are not fantastic. I would have loved to have a lot more strong parks that we could have worked, but it kind of is what it is. So I think we'll button it up for this episode. Like I said, I hope you found it at least semi-useful. I think the next thing I'll shoot maybe will be a loadout of what I use for when I go out and activate, because I don't activate from a car. Even when I'm doing POTA, I go way out in the woods. I pack everything in. So I think maybe we'll go over what my kit sort of looks like. So with that being said, thanks everybody watching. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. 7-3.